Hi there, my name is Aliza and I'm a second year student at the University of Rochester majoring in neuroscience and public health with a minor in legal studies. As a strong proponent of DEI, community development, and health equity, I founded my own health literacy organization, Medicine Encompass. My organization is known as a one-stop shop for medical education initiatives like art committees, resource productions, and so much more. I've also done research around health resource accessibility for diverse communities, and I also serve on a few advisory boards that promote youth involvement in the mental health movement, such as for Cities Rise and NEOL. With my commitment to making the healthcare system more accessible, I work towards amplifying Gen Z voices and intergenerational collaboration, and I recognize that young folks really are a key factor in this. An exciting project that I've been working on is the Fund the Youth campaign, where I've been a core founding member and leader. One of our main objectives is to request the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration, or SAMHSA, to democratize the grant application process for youth mental health initiatives. Through this campaign, I've advocated for the significance of equitable financing and more effective funding frameworks. We've raised awareness on how funding priorities can be shifted, understanding how systemic barriers prevent young people from accessing funding. Along with connecting directly with SAMHSA, I also recently co-presented a session called Equalizing the Accessibility of Grants and Financing for Youth-Led Initiatives at the 2024 Mental Health America and Active Minds conferences in Washington, D.C. In a diverse population where no one has completely identical circumstances, it's fundamentally unjust to approach individual and community care as if that's the case. So health inequities in our communities have been deeply rooted and permeated through systemic barriers. And since health is not just a clinical or biological matter, but one that is also cultural and social, I believe that a system that doesn't represent community demographics is very inequitable. And as a youth leader in the health advocacy field, I want to continue to embrace the fact that healthcare is also cultural care, social care, biological care, community care, and so much more. Health is so intersectional and is a human right, so it's not a one-size-fits-all and should be equitably tailored to the individual. One of my inspirations for my advocacy work is Sofia Kiani, who is the founder of Climate Cardinals and the youngest United Nations advisor. With her progress as a global advocate, she really defies the idea that young age equates to impact, especially as a member of Gen Z with a lot of accomplishments in climate and environmental advocacy. And when it comes to the Sustainable Development Goals, Kiani also brings a lot of diverse representation in international activism and policy. She isn't afraid to speak up as an activist and stand up for her values. In environmentalism and interculturally responsive movements, she really does translate ideas into tangible impacts and global accessibility. So my advice is that there is truly no perfect time that makes it ideal to implement an initiative in a community. While we can prepare to take on these initiatives, I realize that we can never truly be prepared for any blocks that may come into our way. What we need to realize as advocates is that this need to respond to unexpected challenges will always be ongoing, and in fact, the rate at which we should be both proactive and reactive is accelerating more than ever. Our advocacy evolves with the cadence of society and humanity as long as our environments continue to develop, which happens every day, every minute, and every second. The landscape of society, policy, institutions, and the effects that it has on us are interdependent on each other and inherently intersectional, so the need to democratize resources will always exist. So I want to express my deepest appreciation for Etre, but of course everyone in the audience, as we're all aspiring trailblazers in our own way. We're all developing our distinct journeys as lifelong learners, educators, and advocates for ourselves and others. From one young leader to another, always remember that your lived experience and voice is so valuable in cultivating change and is a stepping stone for greater social movements. With so many young folks taking initiative on the causes that matter to them, I'm really optimistic to see youth at the forefront of advocacy. Always remember that you all have so many unique perspectives and skills to offer.